Hello, and welcome to the Narrowing Path, walking the spiritual walk. My name is Steve Van Eiderstein. Thank you all for joining me again today as we go through and do today's daily reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. This will be a fresh to you and fresh to me reading that you'll get my genuine response, reactions, observations, and what I relate to about the reading. This will be the first time that I hear it or read it right here on this podcast with y'all. So, let's go. I'm looking forward to it. Truth has been a common theme. Love, which is really the same thing at the end of the day. And I'm looking forward to this one. So here we go. Let's just get right to it. This is December 13th reading from James Allen's Daily Meditations. The life of truth is that in which wrong thinking and wrongdoing are abandoned, and right thinking and right doing are embraced. It is the wrong deeds of men which bring all the unhappiness into the world. It will be right deeds which will transform all its misery into happiness. By wrong deeds we come to sorrow, by right deeds we come to bliss. A man must not think that the thought. It is the wrong deeds of others which have made me unhappy, for such a thought produces bitterness towards others and increases hatred. He must understand that his unhappiness is from something wrong within himself. He must regard it as a sign that he is yet imperfect. There is some weak spot within him which must be strengthened. He must never accuse others of his troubles, but must establish himself more firmly in the truth. Walk with lowly footsteps, the holy way of truth. This is a great one. And it's about accountability, and this is always a topic I need brought back up. This is always a topic that is beneficial to be reminded of. It really is for me, because it's been so long practice for me to blame everything outside of me and to put the responsibility on other people or circumstances to change so I can be happy. The reality here is, though, that's not even close to the truth, is it? My experience since becoming sober, since walking the spiritual walk, and this path has certainly narrowed, is that I am fully responsible for my own peace and contentment in life by matter of perspective. It's one of the most powerful things you can learn, because then at the end of the day, the only person you need to take a look at is you. I don't need other people to change that. This understanding brings back the power, the possibility back to me. It puts it in my court, so to say. And that is encouraging to someone who always thought he was the victim, to finally accept the fact that I was actually just a responsible party in this whole thing was important. Difficult. But after I did, helped me immensely. Immensely. It was the only way I was able to change, was because of that. So, all right, let's go through this line by line. The life of truth is that in which wrong thinking and wrongdoing are abandoned, and right thinking and right doing are embraced. So, I mean, it's there's a lot to that statement. Let's be honest. Wrong thinking, wrongdoing are abandoned. So, selfish, self-centered thoughts, lower nature thoughts, sinful, ignorant thoughts are abandoned, and then virtuous, principled thoughts, God, Christ-like, power greater than yourself thoughts service, right thinking, and right doing. It's the exact opposite, pretty much. And it manifests, the actions manifest through our thinking, the thinking manifests through our source, through our connection to our intention, what we hold in our heart. So it is the wrong deeds of men which bring all the unhappiness into the world. Big statement, but I believe it. I do believe that all evil in this world, all pain and all suffering is the result of man's selfishness, inherent selfishness. That might be a difficult thing to hear because we like to blame other things. Like this whole concept of evil. Evil is the thing that is evil. Like there's this roaming around evil nature to things. I just believe it's selfishness and self-centeredness. Man's undoing will be himself. I believe it. So, it is the wrong deeds of men which bring all the unhappiness into the world. It will be by right deeds. It will be right deeds which will transform all its misery into happiness. So we need to take right deeds. We need to take service, deeds of service, thinking of others, thinking of not ourselves, to be of genuine use. To have a service oriented mindset. And we can turn misery into happiness. We have to do it for ourselves first, though. That's the thing. A lot of people like to go jump the gun and embrace the help others to get there before they've even approached the bridge to the beginning of it, right? Like it's much easier to go tell somebody else how to live instead of accepting the responsibility to take the action on your own. It just is. It's I think where self-righteousness comes from, really, is an avoidance of personal action. By wrong deeds we come to sorrow. By right deeds we come to bliss. Keep this in mind. Simple statement, but it is a effective check. It's an effective spiritual temperature. Is what you're doing bringing sorrow, or is it what you're doing bringing joy and bliss? This doesn't mean life's going to go perfect. This doesn't mean that every day is going to feel great. But in general, are you overtaken by sorrow or by bliss? Do you have a overall positive, happy, contented life? Got some bumps along the way. We all do, right? Or are you primarily miserable, sorrowful, regretful? Once in a while, you'll get a glimpse of contentment, let alone joy. It's a good indicator of where the actions you're where the actions you're taking are coming from. It's a pretty good sign. But a man must not think the thought. It is the wrong deeds of others which have made me unhappy. For such a thought produces bitterness towards others and increases hatred. Oh, such a thought produces bitterness towards others and increases hatred. Think about that. And think about the accuracy of that statement. If you accept that as true, honestly, you don't even need to accept that as true in the beginning. Just look at your experience, right? I'm just running through a couple scenarios in my own head because I will begin to hold someone else personally responsible for the situations I'm enduring and making them personally responsible for my happiness then. So therefore, if I think they have a hand in making me unhappy because I've assigned that to them, I will just be angry and hateful. That's not where I need to be. He must understand that his unhappiness is something wrong within himself. It's inside. It's an internal job. I got a problem in my heart. Right? I got a problem in my chest that I need to resolve. I need to take a look at. It's not them. It's me. Always is me. He must regard it as a sign that he is yet imperfect. There we go. Every time you put your the responsibility for your happiness on someone else's shoulders or some other circumstance or some other institution, beautiful opportunity to have a thorough and effective look at doing the work. Right? That's a learning opportunity every time. That sentence finishes up with that there is some weak spot within which must be strengthened. Sign that he is yet imperfect and that there is some weak spot within that must be strengthened. Because if we are giving our power away that simply, there's something wrong within us still. We still have some sort of attachment we need to get rid of, some old pains that we still are reliving. We have to take action at that point. And this is saying this is the time when we get bothered and we want to blame others, time to look at ourselves and change that line of thinking. Shift that thinking from selfishness, self centeredness to compassion and love and service. Sounds intense. Sounds, at one point to me, it sounded impossible, but I can guarantee you it's not anymore. I've had experience doing it. The emotion might take a couple minutes to change after doing it, but it works. This absolutely works. So, he must never accuse others for his troubles, but must establish himself more firmly in the truth. The more you allocate your troubles to outside people's circumstances and establishments or even concepts, the further away from truth you are. It is not until you take full accountability for everything in your life do you actually come to truth. There's so many things to learn just by accepting responsibility. It's kind of amazing when you think about it, but it's true. So now this closing line, it's pretty poetic. Walk with lowly footsteps, the holy way of truth. That's how he ended that whole one. Lowly footsteps, meek, humbled, right sized, just a man. Walk with lowly footsteps, the holy way of truth. Beautiful way to close that. So, all right. Well, there we go. That's the end of December 13th. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. I do always greatly appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to finishing out this month with y'all. We're on the 13th. We've got just a few more days left in the year. And then we're on to the next thing. So, hope y'all are enjoying this. Leave a comment, join the Facebook page if you'd like to actually see some more updates that happen. And I'm looking forward to talking to you later. So, until next time, thanks.